want to jump to the ceiling because people get scared of the ceiling. Obviously, we're on a lower ceiling here because this is a set that we built. Typically, I would be on my stilts. Back in the day, here's my stilts. They're retired. They're up there. You see those stilts up there? Can you see them? Those poor things. They got 100,000 miles on them. I can't walk on the stilts no more. Takes its toll on you, right? It's like anything else. You do it for a long time, beat you up. Ceilings are typically 8 feet. People get scared of the ceilings. Why? Because you're working overhead. It does take trained muscles, right? Train your muscles. It's different muscles you're using, okay? But don't be afraid. You could use a bench. You get up there. You can do small pieces at a time. What I want to show you is how you put the compound on the seams without making a giant mess. Again, we got the same scenario. Crossbutt into a recessed seam. It's the same scenario as we had on this wall, okay? It's just that it's above our head now. If I were to go and put the compound on, I showed you the same way. We're going to use the same technique. If I were to go and put our compound on this way, chances are for the first time novice, first time beginner, first time anything, the compound is going to fall. You're not going to be able to control it like I control it. So my recommendation is you put some compound on your knife. And again, same technique. I want you to side swipe it. And I want you to go like that. That's going to give you better chance of not dropping compound all over the floor, all over your head, your face, your clothes. Again, it's water-based. It'll wash. But if you know how to not make a mess, we don't want to make a mess. Side swipe and pull it. Okay? We got a nice little uniform bed of compound there. Same technique. Again, it's going to be repetition, right? Get your knife in there. Find your seam. Don't press. Very loose. Go down your seam. Now you know where to put your tape. You're working above your head. Okay? Let's get our tape. All right, I showed you here, bury that tape. Bury the end of the tape in the recess. This time we'll go a little bit further. It doesn't matter. As long as we're in that 5 inches of recess, we're okay. We know where our seam is. We want to line that crease up with the seam as best as we can. But Ken, what happens if we don't line it up as best as we can? It's okay. It could be off a little bit. As long as it's within reason, we're still going to cover that up from cracking. What we don't want is we don't want that. Okay? We want that. We could always stretch our tape. Tape stretches. Okay? Again, using the hawk. Why do I use the hawk? It's helpful in many ways. It becomes another hand for you. Go back and look at the first video. I put my hawk up here. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put that hawk, and that's going to hold that tape from pulling. If I don't do that and I just start wiping, a lot of times this is what will happen. That's what happens. Okay? We don't want that. Now what we did is we pulled all of the compound out of the recess. We need to put it back. If that does happen, don't get scared. Don't get nervous. Now you're going to have to get a little dirty. You got to straighten your tape out. You're going to use your hand. You're going to stretch it out. And you're going to put it back into place. Again, go back, use your hawk. Get that hawk in there. Hold it. I want you to take a couple of wipes and then press. Look at where my finger is. Look at where my hands are. Okay? It's repetition. It's the same thing over and over again. You're going to hear me like a broken record. Before you know it, you're going to be like, I know. You got to put the compound in. You got to do it like this. But if I don't keep telling you, you won't do it. And you're going to be like, why? This is why. Take a little bit of compound. Get that tape wet. And drag it. And drag it through. Okay? What do I do there? Can I leave that? No, you can't leave that. It's 2 ways you can fix this. You can try pulling it out very flat. Keep your knife flat and pull it out. What a lot of people do is it's easier. Take your knife for that little section and just push. That's it. Never wipe your tape without a little bit of compound on your knife to lubricate that tape. Once you put a dry knife to dry tape, you will pull that tape off. Always a little bit of lubricant. Let's swipe it. Okay, we're going to clean this side. We're going to swipe it, and we're going to clean that side. Okay, we got a nice clean edge there, right? There's a good point that Anthony brought up earlier. Why did you use the 10-inch knife here and the 6-inch knife over here? What I want to do is on the cross butts, because there's no recess and I'm not filling anything in, I want to try and get as much compound out of the tape as I can to keep this joint flat. So if I don't press hard enough and squeeze that compound out, that excess compound, we have enough compound underneath here to keep this from blistering. But if we leave too much in there, we're going to create more of a problem where this crossbutt is going to rock even more. And we were trying to eliminate that. Now remember, because we have water in our compound, everything is going to shrink. It's all going to shrink. All right? Just keep that in mind. The more water, the more it's going to shrink. So now we have our crossbutt done. Same technique as we used on the wall. It's just above our head now. Okay? A little more compound. When we're doing longer stretches, the technique that I'm showing you, the swipe and drag, that's going to help you from dropping the compound all over the place. Again, why do I use a hawk? If we do drop it, it's a shield. Yeah, like medieval days. It's like back in the day when we were fighting off other soldiers, right? We're using a... Okay, enough of that. Take the compound again, get adequate enough amount of compound on here. We swipe and we drag. We flatten our knife out. Okay, I want to show you if I can even do it. If I just go like this, I'm not using the swipe and drag method. I'm just going to pull it from here. Watch what happens with that compound as I squeeze. You see how that comes out like that? That will happen to you every time. There's nowhere for the compound to go but out. So this is why I'm showing you the swipe and drag technique. Will it take a little bit more time? Maybe. All you got is time. It's your house. You're doing it for the first time. Where are you going? You want to do a good job or you want to do a bad job? You do it this way, you're going to have a better chance of being successful for your second and third coat, okay? And you're going to keep the floor clean. You're going to keep yourself clean. You won't have compound all over your house. Trust me, when I come in from work, I got to leave my clothes in the garage because I get compound. Anything that's on me just falls off. It's everywhere. It's in my truck. It's on the ground. And I'm neat. Trust me. All right, so for this application, we're going to do the full seam because it's here. Why not? Again, compound on the knife. We're going to swipe and we're going to drag. And we're going to feel that compound dissipate. And we're going to flatten that knife out. Again, look where my fingers are. You see how I'm holding that knife? My fingers right about in the center, putting pressure on the bottom. It's really, really important. When we get into the next coats, how you move your fingers along the blade of the knife is going to be really, really important. And it's going to help you understand why we're doing things the way we're doing it, right? Remember the why. Again, swipe and pull. Okay? We'll come backwards. Again, swipe and pull. Okay? We've got plenty of compound on there. I don't see any dry spots that are going to create blisters. I think I'm happy with that application on there. Little trick that I showed everybody earlier. Take your knife, put it into the seam, and drag. Go, and you're just showing where your seam is. Do I do that every time? No. Will you have to do that every time? No. But in the beginning, I recommend you doing it until you get a feel for where your tape should be. You'll know that your knife is 6 inches and what you left here is 6 inches, and you need to be directly in the center of where the compound is. For ease right now, I'm showing you that little trick. Just makes it easier for you. You know where to lay the tape. You're not doing a whole house, you're doing a room in your house, right? Tape. Again, repetition, right? Crease side faces the wall. Don't put the tape on backwards. We had one guy come in and he did a whole house. He put the tape on backwards. Ooh, that was a mess. We had to go back and fix it all, cut it all out because it blistered, because it pulled, it didn't shrink the right way. Oh, it was a disaster. He didn't last too long, that guy. We're going to put the tape on the end, guide it with your hand, your left hand, if you're lefty or righty. If you're a lefty, ooh, you got more problems. As we say in the trade, I never met a good lefty taper. That's a joke for the people who know me. They'll get it. Put that crease right where that line that you created. Go right down. Again. You open that knife like that, you'll never be able to cut it. You flatten that knife, just like you're cutting a piece of masking tape, just like duct tape, anything like that. Put that knife on there and just pull. Simple, right? Where's my 10-inch knife? I'm going to use the 10-inch knife. I'm going to stick with the 10-inch knife. Now look, my 10-inch knife has been sitting for a little bit, so it's dirty. My 6-inch knife is starting to get dirty, right? The side that I use is kind of clean. You can always scrape it, keep it clean. That's okay. But you see that little bit there? As that starts to build up, we don't want any of that in the material, okay? That's just going to create havoc when we're trying to create smoothness. We don't want havoc, all right? So typically what happens with stuff like this, guys will throw it on the floor or throw in the trash can. I usually just wipe it. I put it on my leg, all right? You're going to get dirty. It's construction. What are we going to do? Okay, back to repetition. You guys are going to be like, wow, he just keeps telling us to do the swipe and pull, swipe and pull. That's how it is. This is how it gets done. I didn't say it was rocket science. Just said it was a little technique and finesse, right? We want to put the swipe. We're going to lubricate the tape as we're dragging it. On the ceilings especially. The more open you keep your knife, the harder it is to control, the more compound you're going to pull out, right? Swipe. So we want to flatten it out a little bit. And typically on my 10-inch knife on the ceilings, I put a little pressure on there. And the way I do that is I drop my fingers down to the bottom of the knife. I put this finger lower on the blade and I press, okay? Now, I'm creating that little flex in that knife, and that's okay. And that's what we're going to pull the excess compound out, but leave just enough in there that's going to give us success for the second coat, okay? So the swipe and pull, okay? Now we're going to go back the other way. Swipe and pull. Clean it. Again, swipe and pull. Now you see that line in there? I got a little bit of a line. It's hard to see, but that means I got a little bit of dried up junk that we were just talking about in the compound, all right? Can we leave it? Sure we can. It'll be fine. Do we want to leave it? No, we want to be clean, and we want to be successful for our second coat. It's okay. We go back, swipe, and wipe. Okay? Swipe and wipe. Look where my finger is. Look how I'm putting pressure on that knife. All right? My other fingers are down low. My index finger is down low, but we're pressing. You can see the flex in that knife. That's going to help you. Swipe and go. See, I like to show this here, and I don't know if you could pick it up on camera, but there's a little bit of an area where I didn't get enough compound in to fill the recess. And this shows that, can we fix that? Yes, we can fix that, obviously. And if it's all the way, yes, we can fix it. We fix it with the second coat. We don't want to leave it like this only because, again, compound shrinks, okay? We want this recess to be full, filled. Our second coat is really just going to cover up our tape and a little bit of the recess from when it shrunk. So if we leave this bare like this, that means that the second coat, we have to add more compound over here, and that's going to shrink. So 3 coats may not do it. We may have to put a 4th coat on there. Some guys will say, you know, you don't have to, you do. I'm just telling you what works for me. I know the mistakes that I've made in the past, and I'm showing you how to be successful for your second coat and your 3rd coat, okay? It's like we always talk on the trades always talk. You want to be successful for the next guy or the next step, right? If the framer doesn't do a good job, the sheetrocker doesn't do a good job, the taper doesn't do a good job, the painter doesn't do it, right down the line. So you want everything to be in succession. Respect the guy coming after you. Do the best job that you can, okay? And ultimately give you the chance to be successful. Again, repetition, swipe and wipe. Oh, Ken, what happened there? Look, we got a little bit of a bump in the middle of the tape. Remember I showed you earlier? You can stretch your tape. You want to go to the end and you want to pull your tape. Just press, and that pulls that wrinkle right out, okay? That's okay. Remember, it's all going to shrink. Swipe and wipe. Get to the end. Now what? I showed you over here. You're going to have to go back and look at some of these because it's, again, repetition. Take your 6-inch knife, push it this way. Very lightly. Don't be forceful. Go very lightly. And now you're just left to clean up the mess. We'll put a little bit of compound. It's always lubricate, wipe, fill that recess. Let's come to this side. Wipe, fill that recess. Got a little bit here. Let's get in there and clean that up. And there we have it. We have the ceiling taped. Crossbutt, flat joint on the ceiling. Crossbutt, flat joint on the wall.